The sun was setting on a warm summer evening in New York City. The sky turned a beautiful mix of orange and purple, but something was not right. People on the streets stopped and looked up. There, in the fading light, they saw a huge spaceship. It was unlike anything they had ever seen before. The ship was as big as a football field. It had a smooth, shiny surface that reflected the sunset. Slowly, it moved towards the United Nations building. People started to run. Some screamed. Others just stood there, unable to move. Inside the UN building, world leaders were having a meeting. They were talking about climate change when their phones started buzzing. Aides rushed in, their faces pale with fear. "Mr. President," one of them said, "you need to see this." The President of the United States, Sarah Chen, walked to the window. Her eyes widened as she saw the massive ship hovering outside. "Get me in touch with our military," she said, her voice steady despite her fear. But before anyone could act, a bright light filled the room. When it faded, 3 tall figures stood there. They had gray skin, large black eyes, and no hair. They wore shimmering robes that seemed to change color as they moved. One of the aliens stepped forward. In perfect English, it said, "We come from the Galactic Empire. We bring a message for humanity." The room was silent. Nobody knew what to say or do. President Chen took a deep breath and spoke. "Welcome to Earth. I am President Chen of the United States. We are honored by your visit. What is your message?" The alien's big eyes blinked slowly. "Our message is simple," it said. "Stay away from space. Do not leave your planet. This is a warning." Gasps filled the room. The Russian president, Dmitry Volkov, stood up angrily. "Who are you to tell us what to do?" he shouted. "We have the right to explore space." The alien turned its gaze to Volkov. The Russian leader suddenly felt very small. "You do not understand," the alien said. "This is not a choice. It is an order. For your own safety, you must stay on Earth." President Chen tried to keep calm. "Can you explain why?" she asked. "We have already sent people to our moon. We have robots on Mars. Why must we stop now?" The alien was quiet for a moment. Then it said, "There are things in the universe you are not ready for, dangers you cannot imagine. We are protecting you." The Chinese premier, Lai Xufeng, spoke up. "But surely we can learn from you," he said. "You could teach us about space travel and help us avoid these dangers." The alien shook its head. "No, we cannot interfere. You must stay here on your own planet. That is all." With another flash of light, the aliens disappeared. The world leaders looked at each other in shock and confusion. Over the next few days, the alien visit was all anyone could talk about. TV shows, newspapers, and social media were full of debate. Some people were scared and thought Earth should obey the warning. Others were angry and said humanity should ignore it. Scientists tried to study the little data they had from the alien ship. They hoped to learn something, anything, that might help them understand the situation better. In secret meetings, world leaders argued about what to do. Some wanted to stop all space programs right away. Others wanted to speed them up, to prepare for possible alien attacks. Meanwhile, a group of young hackers in Tokyo managed to get into some top-secret government files. What they found was shocking. It seemed that some governments had known about aliens for years. They had been hiding this information from the public. As this news spread, people became even more confused and angry. They didn't know who to trust anymore. Protests broke out in many cities around the world. In a small lab in Africa, Dr. Amara Okoro made an interesting discovery. She found a strange signal coming from deep space. It was very weak, but it didn't match anything known to human science. Could it be connected to the aliens' warning? As the sun set on the 7th day after the alien visit, humanity was at a crossroads. Should they obey the warning and stay on Earth? Or should they push forward into space, despite the risks? The future of the human race hung in the balance, and no one knew what would happen next. 2 weeks had passed since the aliens' visit, The world was still in shock, but slowly people were starting to react. In every country, in every city, humans were making a choice. They were choosing to defy the Galactic Empire's warning. In a secret underground lab in Houston, Dr. Emily Chen worked day and night. She was leading a team of scientists trying to build a new kind of spaceship. "We can't just sit here and do nothing," she told her team. "If there are dangers out there, we need to be ready for them." Meanwhile, in a small village in India, a young girl named Priya had a strange dream. She saw the stars calling to her, telling her that humanity's future was among them. When she woke up, she knew what she had to do. She started studying harder than ever before, determined to become an astronaut. Across the world, people were having similar thoughts. They didn't want to be trapped on Earth. They wanted to explore, to learn, to grow. The human spirit of adventure was too strong to be contained. In Russia, President Volkov made a bold announcement. "We will not bow to these alien demands," he said on national TV. "Russia will double its space program budget. We will reach Mars within 5 years." Other countries soon followed. China, India, the United States, and even smaller nations like Nigeria and Israel all announced new space initiatives. The space race was on again, but this time, it wasn't just about beating other countries. It was about beating the aliens' expectations. But not everyone agreed with this approach. In London, a group called Earth First was gaining followers. "The aliens warned us for a reason," their leader, Jack Thompson, said at a rally. "We should listen to them. Space is too dangerous." The debate raged on social media. People argued day and night about what humanity should do. Some thought the governments were being reckless. Others cheered them on, excited by the idea of defying an alien empire. As all this was happening, strange things started occurring around the world. In Brazil, a farmer found a piece of metal in his field that seemed to defy gravity. In Egypt, archaeologists discovered ancient hieroglyphs that looked like modern spacecraft. And in Antarctica, a research team reported seeing lights in the sky that moved in impossible ways. Dr. Amara Okoro, who had discovered the strange signal from space, was now working with a global team of scientists. They were trying to decode the signal, believing it might hold important information about the aliens and their warning. One day, as Dr. Okoro was working late in her lab, she had a breakthrough. "Oh my God," she whispered, staring at her computer screen. She had found a pattern in the signal. It wasn't just random noise. It was a message. Excited, she called her colleagues. Within hours, scientists around the world were working together to decipher the message. What they found shocked them all. The message wasn't from the Galactic Empire. It was from another alien race, one that seemed to be at war with the Empire. "Humans," the message said, "do not trust the Empire. They do not protect. They conquer. You must fight." This news spread like wildfire. Governments held emergency meetings. The United Nations called for a global summit. People didn't know what to think. Who should they believe? The empire that came to Earth with a warning, or this mysterious message from space? In the midst of all this confusion, humanity's space programs continued to advance. New technologies were developed at an incredible pace. Scientists made breakthroughs in propulsion, in life support systems, in ways to protect against radiation in space. Priya, the girl from India who had the dream, was now a young woman. She had just been selected for her country's astronaut program. As she put on her training suit for the first time, she felt a mix of excitement and fear. What would she find out there in space? As the sun set on the 100th day after the alien visit, humanity stood at the brink of a new era. Despite the warning, despite the fears, they were reaching for the stars. Spaceships were being built. Astronauts were being trained. The first human mission to Mars was almost ready to launch. The Galactic Empire had told humanity to stay away from space, but they should have known better. Telling humans not to do something only made them want to do it more. The quest for knowledge, the thirst for adventure, the need to explore, These were too deeply ingrained in human nature to be denied. As night fell, millions of people looked up at the stars. They wondered what was out there. They wondered what dangers they might face. But most of all, they felt a sense of excitement. Humanity was about to take its biggest step yet, and nothing, not even an alien empire, was going to stop them. The day had finally come. After years of preparation, the first human spaceship designed for deep space travel was ready to launch. Its name was Defiance, a clear message to the Galactic Empire that had warned humanity to stay on Earth. The ship's crew was made up of the best from around the world. Captain Jane Lee from the United States, Engineer Pavel Volkov from Russia, Scientist Priya Patel from India, and pilot Jamal Okafor from Nigeria. They represented the united effort of humanity to reach the stars. As the countdown began, millions watched around the world. In mission control, Dr. Emily Chen held her breath. This was her design, her dream. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Liftoff. The rocket roared to life, pushing against Earth's gravity. In space, the Defiance separated from its launch vehicle. Captain Lee's voice crackled over the radio. Mission control. This is Defiance. We have achieved orbit, and all systems are green. We are go for deep space insertion. Back on Earth, cheers erupted in mission control and around the world. Humanity had taken its first real step into the galaxy. Days turned into weeks as the Defiance pushed further into space than any human had gone before. They were headed towards a distant star system, where strange signals had been detected. On the 30th day of their journey, something unexpected happened. Alarms blared throughout the ship. Captain. Pilot Okafor called out. Unknown object approaching fast. The crew rushed to their stations. On the main screen, they saw a sleek silver ship. It was clearly not of human origin. Captain Lee opened a communication channel. This is Captain Jane Lee of the Earth ship Defiance. We come in peace. For a long moment, there was no response. Then a voice spoke. It was the same voice they had heard months ago at the United Nations. Earth vessel, you were warned to stay away. You have disobeyed. Prepare to be boarded. Fear gripped the crew, but they stood firm. Engineer Volkov spoke up. Captain, I have an idea. Remember the strange metal we found? I think it might be able to disrupt their systems. Captain Lee nodded. Do it. Volkov activated a device they had built using the mysterious metal. Suddenly, the alien ship's lights flickered. It drifted, seemingly powerless. Now's our chance, said pilot Okafor. We can outrun them. But scientist Patel disagreed. Wait, this is our chance to make real contact, to understand why they warned us away. Captain Lee made a quick decision. You're right. Jamal, take us closer. Pavel, be ready with that device if we need it again. Priya, you're with me. We're going to try to talk to them. Using the Defiance's advanced systems, they managed to dock with the alien ship. Captain Lee and Priya stepped aboard, their hearts racing. They found the aliens in what looked like a control room. The beings looked just like the ones who had visited Earth. But now, up close, the humans could see fear in their large black eyes. Why did you warn us away from space? Captain Lee asked. The alien leader hesitated, then spoke. Because we were afraid. Your species progresses so quickly. In 1,000 years, you went from simple tools to space travel. It took us 1,000,000 years to do the same. Priya's eyes widened. You're not here to conquer us. Conquer? The alien seemed confused. No, we are here to protect the galaxy. From you. This revelation stunned the humans. All this time, they thought they were the ones in danger. But the Galactic Empire was actually afraid of them. As they talked more, understanding grew on both sides. The humans learned about the vast galaxy and its many wonders. The aliens learned about human curiosity, creativity, and determination. Finally, the alien leader said, perhaps, we were wrong to warn you away. Your species has much to offer the galaxy. Captain Lee smiled. "And we have much to learn. Can we start over? Not as enemies or as protector and protected, but as equals." The alien considered this, then extended a hand in a very human-like gesture. "Yes, let us start over." As the humans returned to their ship, they knew everything had changed. Humanity had not just made its first contact with alien life. They had changed the course of galactic history. The Defiance began its journey back to Earth, but not alone. The alien ship traveled with them, ready to usher humanity into a new era of galactic cooperation. As Earth grew larger in their view screen, Captain Lee sent a message home. "Mission Control, this is Defiance. Prepare for visitors. The galaxy is about to get a lot smaller, and a whole lot more interesting." The return of the Defiance, accompanied by an alien ship, caused a global sensation. People everywhere watched in awe as the two vessels landed at a specially prepared site outside of New York City. As Captain Lee and her crew stepped out, followed by the alien delegates, the world held its breath. President Chen was there to greet them, along with other world leaders. "Welcome back to Earth," she said, her voice steady despite her nervousness. "And welcome to our new friends." The alien leader, who had introduced himself as Dax, nodded respectfully. "We come in peace and with an apology. We misjudged your species, and for that, we are sorry." Over the next few weeks, humans and aliens worked together to establish communication and share knowledge. Scientists were thrilled to learn about advanced alien technologies. Politicians debated how to integrate Earth into the galactic community. But not everyone was happy with these developments. Jack Thompson, the leader of the Earth First movement, was gathering followers. "These aliens lied to us once," he shouted at rallies. "How can we trust them now?" Meanwhile, Dr. Amara Okoro couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. The message she had decoded, warning about the Empire, still nagged at her. Where had it come from? And why didn't the aliens mention it? She decided to investigate further. Using the new alien technology available to her, she began scanning deeper into space, searching for the source of that mysterious message. One night, as she worked late in her lab, her computer started beeping frantically. She had found something, a hidden signal coming from Earth itself. Confused and intrigued, Dr. Okoro traced the signal. It led her to an unexpected place, the bottom of the Pacific Ocean. She immediately called Captain Lee, who had become a global hero after the Defiance mission. "Jane, I found something strange," she said. "I need your help to check it out." Within days, a small team including Dr. Okoro, Captain Lee, and the ever-curious Priya Patel was on a submarine, diving deep into the Pacific. As they descended, their instruments began to pick up strange readings. "This can't be right," Priya muttered, staring at the screen. "These energy signatures, they're not natural, and they're not matching any known human or alien technology." Suddenly, their sub's lights illuminated something in the darkness. Everyone gasped. There, rising before them, was a massive structure. It looked ancient, yet somehow futuristic at the same time. "What is this place?" Captain Lee whispered. As if in response, the structure lit up. A doorway appeared, opening into a brightly lit interior. The team looked at each other nervously. "We should inform the surface," Priya suggested. But before they could, their communication systems went dead. They were cut off. "We have to go in," Dr. Okoro said firmly. This could be the key to everything. Cautiously, they entered the structure. Inside, they found a vast chamber filled with technology beyond their wildest dreams. And at the center, a hologram flickered to life. The image showed beings that looked almost human, but not quite. One of them spoke. "If you are seeing this, then the children of Earth have finally returned home." The team listened in shock as the hologram explained the truth. Earth had once been home to an incredibly advanced civilization, but they had been attacked by a hostile force from deep space. To protect their children, early humans, they had hidden them away, suppressing their technological development and erasing their memories. The Galactic Empire you encountered, the hologram said, are not our enemies, but our creations. We made them to watch over the galaxy until humanity was ready to reclaim its heritage. As the message ended, the team stood in stunned silence. They had just discovered that humans were not only not alone in the universe, but they were the long-lost heirs to an incredibly advanced civilization. "We need to tell everyone," Priya said, her voice shaking with excitement. Captain Lee nodded slowly. "Yes, but carefully. This changes everything. The way we see ourselves, our place in the universe." Dr. Okoro was already examining the alien technology around them. "With this knowledge, this technology, we can do amazing things. We can take our rightful place among the stars." As they prepared to return to the surface, each of them knew that nothing would ever be the same. Humanity had not just discovered its past, it had found its future. The hidden truth was out. And now, the real adventure was about to begin. The news of humanity's true origins spread like wildfire across the globe. At first, many didn't believe it. How could humans be descendants of an advanced alien race? But as more evidence came to light, people began to accept the incredible truth. Dr. Amara Okoro and her team worked tirelessly to understand the ancient technology they had found. "It's like nothing we've ever seen before," she told reporters. "But somehow, it feels familiar." All around the world, strange things started happening. People reported sudden flashes of knowledge or skills they never had before. A farmer in China woke up one day understanding advanced physics. A schoolgirl in Brazil suddenly could speak languages she had never learned. "It's our ancestral memories," Priya Patil explained on a global broadcast. "They're awakening." Governments scrambled to adapt to this new reality. Some saw it as a threat, others as an opportunity. The United Nations called an emergency session to discuss humanity's new place in the galaxy. Meanwhile, Captain Jane Lee led a team back to the underwater base. They found more than just technology there. They discovered star maps, histories of ancient battles, and plans for ships that could cross galaxies in the blink of an eye. "We need to be careful," Captain Lee warned. "We're like children who've just been handed the keys to a very powerful car." But not everyone wanted to be careful. Around the world, people were demanding access to the new technology. They wanted to explore space, to meet other alien races, to reclaim their birthright among the stars. Jack Thompson, once the leader of Earth First, now led a new movement called Stellar Destiny. "We've been held back long enough," he shouted at rallies. "It's time for humanity to take its rightful place in the universe." The Galactic Empire, meanwhile, was in turmoil. Learning that they were created by humanity's ancestors shook their society to its core. Some wanted to help humanity, others feared what would happen if humans regained their full power. Zax, the alien leader who had first contacted Earth, arrived with an urgent message. "There are others out there," he warned. "Ancient enemies of your ancestors. If they learn you've awakened, they will come." This news pushed humanity into overdrive. All around the world, people worked together like never before. Scientists and engineers from every country collaborated to rebuild the technology of their ancestors. In orbit around Earth, construction began on a massive shipyard. Dr. Emily Chen, who had designed the Defiance, now led the project to build a fleet of advanced starships. "We'll be ready," she promised. "Whatever's out there, we'll face it together." As months passed, humanity's progress was astounding. Cities began to transform, incorporating the new technology. Clean energy became abundant. Diseases that once seemed incurable were wiped out. But the biggest changes were happening in space. The moon became a bustling colony overnight. Mars was terraformed in a matter of weeks. Humanity spread through the solar system at an incredible pace. And then, 1 year after the discovery of the underwater base, the first of the new starships was ready. It was christened Phoenix, symbolizing humanity's rebirth. As the Phoenix prepared for its maiden voyage, Captain Lee stood on the bridge, looking out at the stars. Her crew was a mix of humans and aliens from the Galactic Empire, symbolizing the new alliance. "Captain," Priya called out, excitement in her voice. "We're picking up a signal. It's from another galaxy." The crew gathered around the communication console. The message was clear. "Children of Earth, you have awakened. We've been waiting. It's time to come home." Captain Lee took a deep breath. She looked at her crew, saw the mixture of excitement and nervousness on their faces. This was it, the moment humanity would truly step onto the galactic stage. "Well," she said, a smile spreading across her face, "let's not keep them waiting. Helm, set a course. Let's see what's out there." As the Phoenix's engines hummed to life, preparing to make a jump across galaxies, humanity stood on the brink of a new era. They had risen from a primitive species to a galactic power in a remarkably short time. The stars were calling, and this time, humanity was ready to answer. Whatever challenges lay ahead, they would face them together, as the reborn children of an ancient and powerful legacy. The Phoenix's journey across galaxies was just the beginning. As humanity stepped onto the galactic stage, they found a universe both wondrous and dangerous. New allies were made, ancient technologies were rediscovered, and humanity's influence grew rapidly. But with great power came great challenges. Not everyone in the galaxy welcomed humanity's sudden rise. The ancient enemies that Zax had warned about finally revealed themselves. They called themselves the Void Collective, a group of species that had long ago sworn to wipe out the ancestors of humanity. The first attack came swiftly and without warning. A fleet of Void Collective ships, dark and menacing, appeared at the edge of the solar system. Their message was clear: surrender or be destroyed. Humanity's response was equally clear. "We will not bow," President Chen declared in a galaxy-wide broadcast. "We have hidden in fear for too long. It's time to stand and fight." And so began the greatest war the galaxy had ever seen. Captain Jane Lee, now Admiral Lee, led the human fleet. The Phoenix, upgraded with the most advanced technology, became her flagship. By her side stood Zax, representing the Galactic Empire that had chosen to ally with humanity. The first battles were brutal. The Void Collective had millennia of experience in warfare, while humanity was still learning to use its rediscovered powers. Entire star systems became battlegrounds. Planets were lost, then regained, then lost again. But humans had something the Void Collective didn't expect: adaptability. While the enemy relied on ancient tactics and technologies, humanity constantly innovated. Dr. Emily Chen, working with a team of human and alien scientists, developed new weapons and defenses at an incredible pace. "They may have experience," she said, "but we have creativity on our side." One of their greatest inventions was the Nexus Shield, a defensive system that could protect entire planets. It was just in time, as the Void Collective launched a major assault on Earth itself. The battle for Earth was the turning point of the war. As void ships darkened the skies, humanity stood united like never before. People from all nations, all backgrounds, fought side by side to defend their homeworld. In the heat of the battle, Priya Patel made a crucial discovery. Analyzing the enemy's communication signals, she found a weakness. "Their ships are all connected to a central mind," she told Admiral Lee. "If we can disrupt that connection, we might be able to shut down their entire fleet." It was a dangerous plan, requiring a small team to infiltrate the Void Collective's command ship. Admiral Lee knew it was their best chance. "I'll lead the team myself," she said. As the space battle raged above, Lee's team, including Priya and Zax, snuck aboard the enemy flagship. They fought their way through dark corridors, facing alien horrors. Finally, they reached the central control room. There, they found the truth behind the Void Collective. It wasn't a group of species, but a single ancient AI that had gone mad, consuming entire civilizations to feed its hunger for power. As Lee and her team worked to shut down the AI, the void ships above Earth began to falter. Human and allied forces pressed their advantage, pushing the enemy back. In a last, desperate move, the Void AI tried to self-destruct, threatening to take half the galaxy with it. But Zax, sacrificing himself, managed to contain the explosion. As the dust settled, humanity emerged victorious. The Void Collective was no more. The galaxy was safe. But the cost had been high. Many lives were lost, planets destroyed. As Admiral Lee stood on the bridge of the Phoenix, looking out at the stars, she knew that the real work was just beginning. "We've won the war," she told her crew. "Now we need to win the peace." Across the galaxy, species that had been oppressed by the Void Collective were now free. Many looked to humanity for leadership. Others were wary of this young but powerful race. As representatives from 1,000 worlds gathered to discuss the future, humanity faced its greatest challenge yet. They had saved the galaxy. Now, could they unite it? The war was over, but humanity's greatest adventure was just beginning. The grand hall of the newly built Galactic Council on Mars buzzed with activity. Representatives from thousands of worlds filled the room. Their diverse forms a testament to the vastness of the universe. At the center of it all stood Admiral Jane Lee, now serving as Earth's primary delegate. 5 years had passed since the end of the war with the Void Collective. Those years had been filled with both triumphs and challenges as the galaxy struggled to rebuild and redefine itself. "Order, please," Jane called out, her voice carrying across the hall. The room fell silent. "We are here today to finalize the charter of the new Galactic Alliance. This document will shape the future of our galaxy for generations to come." As Jane spoke, her mind wandered to the journey that had brought them here. The warning from the Galactic Empire, humanity's defiance, the discovery of their true heritage, the brutal war, and now this, a chance to build something truly remarkable. Dr. Amara Okoro, now the head of the Galactic Science Council, stood to present the latest breakthrough. "We've successfully merged our rediscovered ancestral technology with innovations from across the galaxy," she announced. "The result is a network of instantaneous transportation hubs. Distance will no longer be a barrier between worlds." Excited murmurs filled the room. This technology would change everything, allowing even the most distant worlds to participate fully in galactic affairs. Next came Priya Patel, who had become a key diplomat in human-alien relations. "We've made great strides in cultural exchange programs," she reported. "More and more species are choosing to live on Earth, and humans are settling on worlds across the galaxy. We're learning from each other, growing together." But not all the news was good. Jack Thompson, once the fiery leader of Stellar Destiny, now spoke as the voice of caution. "We must not forget the lessons of the past," he warned. "Our ancestors' power led to conflict. We must be careful not to repeat their mistakes." As the discussion continued, it became clear that the galaxy was divided. Some worlds wanted to push forward, to explore and expand as quickly as possible. Others advocated for a more measured approach, fearing that rapid change could lead to instability. Jane listened to all sides, remembering the words of Zax, their fallen alien friend. "The greatest strength of humanity," he had once told her, "is not your technology or your ancient heritage. It's your ability to unite, to find common ground in the face of adversity." Taking a deep breath, Jane stood once more. "Friends, allies, fellow citizens of the galaxy," she began, "we stand at a crossroads. The choices we make today will echo through the ages. We have the power to shape stars, to cross the vast gulfs between galaxies. But our greatest power lies in our diversity, in the unique perspectives each of us brings." She paused, looking around the room. "I propose that we move forward not as a single monolithic entity, but as a tapestry of cultures and ideas. Let us create a galactic order that celebrates our differences, even as it unites us in common purpose." Her words resonated across the hall. Slowly, heads began to nod in agreement. Even those who had been most opposed seemed to see the wisdom in her approach. Over the next few days, the details of the new Galactic Alliance were hammered out. It would be a federation of worlds, each maintaining its own unique culture while working together for the common good. Earth, as the homeworld of humanity, would play a key role, but not a dominant one. As Jane signed the final document, she felt a sense of both accomplishment and humility. Humanity had come so far, from a species confined to a single planet to a linchpin of galactic civilization. Yet their journey was far from over. Outside the council hall, the Martian sky sparkled with stars. Each point of light represented new worlds to explore, new civilizations to meet, new challenges to overcome. The galaxy that had once warned humanity to stay away now welcomed them with open arms. As Jane looked up at those stars, she smiled. The Galactic Empire had told humanity to stay on Earth, thinking they were protecting the galaxy. Instead, they had set in motion a chain of events that led to a new era of peace and prosperity for all. Humanity had not just found its place in the universe. They had helped reshape it, ushering in a new age of exploration, cooperation, and hope. The adventure, Jane knew, was only just beginning.